Hi, in this video we're going to talk about the structure of the informative speech. So you've researched your topic and now you're going to put it together in a structure. So there's a lot of ways to structure your informative speech. There's chronological, spatial, all these different ways. I have a very simple structure that I like to use in my classes. I like this structure because you can use it in different ways. You just don't have to use it for informative. You can use it for your impromptu speech, or maybe even an essay question that you're answering in another class. You might not know the answer, but it'll be nice and organized, and you might get some points for that as well. So that's what we're going to go over today, is this informative structure. So Mrs. East's informative structure. All right, so we have the first part of the speech, which is the intro. So what do you think you need to do at the very first part of your speech? And you can answer if you like. What's the first thing you want to do in your speech?
Hook people in.
Hook them, yes. So you want to gain attention. Now, the person that I asked that question of took my class before and he knew the answer. Usually what people will say is, announce my topic. You know, they'll say, tell them what I'm going to talk about. And that seems logical, right? But it's not attention getting. So if you announce your topic, that's not gaining attention. So you want to gain our attention first. So what would you think if I told you, or if my intro was, today I'm going to tell you about the flea? What would you think?
I would think that if I'm not interested in the flea, I'm going to tune out.
Yeah, and you might even say, what? Boring. Why do I want to know about the flea? Okay, so if you announce your topic, you're giving your audience a chance to go, nah, I don't want to hear that. Okay, so you do not announce your topic. You want to gain attention instead. So what are some ways to hook your audience?
Asking me?
Yeah.
Maybe tell a funny story or something that's exciting.
Okay, a funny story is perfect. Remember when we talked about, in nervousness, we talked about getting immediate feedback from your audience. So if you tell a funny story, then we're going to laugh, hopefully. If nobody else laughs, you can assure that I will laugh, okay? I will laugh at your jokes no matter what. So, but yeah, or you could even make a joke and tell us a funny story, and then tell us at the end, that was supposed to be funny. And then you'll probably get some laughs that way as well. So a funny story is good. Also something that is exciting. So you can kind of get us excited about maybe an event or a place or something like that. So you can describe maybe the place, or or describe it so well that we feel like we're in that place. And so you can make us feel excited to be in that area. Of course, a joke helps as well. And you don't have to be funny. You can use puns. You can find jokes on the internet. I had one student in one of my classes. She started every single speech she did with a pun. And after a while, students were asking her for puns for their speeches. So that usually works well as a way to gain attention. Another way is to ask questions. So you can actually have your audience answer the question. So by raising their hand, or you can ask people to say what the answer is. Be a little careful with that because you don't want to go overtime because people take over your speech. So you want to make that very short if you actually ask questions of the audience. I once saw a student have everybody stand up, and then as they answered the questions, they sat down. So I thought that was great because, man, you've got their attention. You made them stand up, and they can't sleep while they're standing up. And so I thought that was a really great way to do it as well. So you want to gain its attention. So I'm going to try this one on you. So today I'm going to talk about something that is in your house right now. This thing could cause disease and even death. What is it?
Medicine?
No? People have guessed mold. They've guessed asbestos. So usually they guess, those big things. But the answer is the flea. Okay, so that's something you can do as well. And so what you're going to do is gain our attention, and you're going to lead up to your topic. So even though you're not announcing it right at the start, you can still lead up to it and tell us after your attention getter. So that's the first thing you want to do. Second thing you want to do is relate the topic to the audience. All right, so I might ask now, how many of you have dogs or cats at home? People raise their hands. Lots of people, right, have dogs and cats at home. Do you have to worry about fleas if you have a dog or cat? Yes. Okay, so that's how I'm going to relate the topic to the audience. And the third thing is to establish the significance of the topic. Big word. Okay, what does significance mean?
It's important.
Importance, okay? So we've narrowed the topic to this audience. You guys have dogs and cats. You have to worry about fleas, right? And then and establish how important it is in society. So would you say that how do you get rid of fleas?
Usually with medicine, right?
Medicine, the collars, the baths, the balms. Is it cheap?
No.
No. Would you say that getting rid of fleas is $1 million industry?
I would think so.
Yes.
Worldwide.
Yep. Lots of money. So that's significant, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that makes it significant. And would you say lots of people in the United States have dogs and cats?
I would say so.
Yes, lots of people. I know I'm not a good drawer, I'll tell you right now. So these are my stick people. Okay? And what happens if we don't get rid of fleas?
They can cause issues with the animals.
Yes.
Diseases,
Yeah, diseases even, right? So they can bite you, you can get infected, they multiply, they can cause disease. They can even cause death. And these are dead people. I know, not good drawer. All right, so they can even cause death. Now, the flea transmits the bubonic plague. We are a civilized society, so it doesn't get to that point anymore. I know that's an exaggeration, but it's just for, yucks to show you that it is a significant topic, even though you didn't think so at the start. So I'm going to start something here as well. All right, so what do you think's next in your structure?
Body?
Not yet. What do you want to do before the body?
Not sure.
Poor guy, I'm putting him on the spot. You want to preview your main points. So you're going to list your 3 main points. So for example, you might say, today we're going to talk about the anatomy of the flea, how it transmits the plague, and how to get rid of fleas. So just give us your 3 main points, okay? And then what's next?
Now the body.
The body. I'm going to add something over here. All right, in that body, you're going to give us the information You follow it up with stories, statistics, examples, etc., and cite your sources. All right, so basically that's the body of your speech. You're giving the information. You want to sprinkle the sources throughout your body so you don't forget them. And that's the body of your speech. So we're going to add that here. So point 1, point 2, point 3. Of course, you got transitions in between. So you want those links in between all the parts of your speech, and that's the body. All right, are you done?
No.
What's next, do you think?
Conclusion.
All right, what's part of the conclusion that you need?
To maybe prove with some examples.
You've done that in the body, so I'm not going to put you on the spot, poor guy. So the next thing is the summary. All right, so you're going to list your 3 main points again. So this should be a carbon copy of the preview, okay? So, and it's redundant, I know, but I'm going to tell you why in a minute. So that's your summary. And then the end, what's that called?
Conclusion.
Conclusion. All right. What is something that people usually say in their conclusion?
To conclude.
To conclude, yes, or in conclusion. Why do they say that? Why do you think they say that?
Probably because they can't think of anything better.
Exactly, exactly. And what does the audience think when they hear that, or they do?
Boring.
Yeah, boring, or yay, it's done, okay? So never, ever say in conclusion or to conclude. There's a story about Bill Clinton. He was giving a speech, and it was really long and rambling, and he was going on and on and on. He finally said, in conclusion, and everybody started cheering because they were so happy that the speech was over. So instead, you might do what's called bookend. So what that does, what you do is you start a story in the beginning and you end it in the end. You can, basically I like to think of the conclusion as an attention getter at the end. So any of the devices that you used in the attention getter, you can use in the conclusion. It's really important to have a conclusion because that is the very last thing that your audience hears. So as the attention getter is very important at the beginning, your conclusion is as important at the end. So don't just throw that away. Don't just say, well, that's over, or glad that's over, or that's it, or whatever. So don't say those kinds of things. You want to plan out a conclusion because that's the last thing that you're leaving with us. All right, so that's my structure. It's really, really simple. I like to keep it simple. You're going to gain our attention, and you're basically hitting us over the head with your topic in your intro, okay? So you're going to gain our attention. You're telling us why we want to listen to this topic and also why it's important out in society. And then you're going to tell us what you're going to tell us. You tell us, and then you tell us what you told us. And then you conclude. Is that redundant? Yes. Why do you want redundancy in your speech?
So it really hits home and they remember it.
Yeah, you'll remember the speech because we reminded you twice, okay? So this is the structure. And what do you think this is a picture of?
building from the bottom to the top, building your speech.
Oh, that's deep, but it's not true. It's not what what mine is. Any other guess? I know I'm not a good drawer.
You're asking what that is a picture of?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't tell.
I know. That's okay. It is a trophy.
Oh, I see now.
Because with this structure, you'll give winning speeches.
Very
Aww. I know that's corny, but you got to get used to that. I'm a corny person. All right, so this is the structure that we're going to be using for informative. And so it's also mapped out in your criteria sheet. And I'll probably make a worksheet for you as well. And we're going to do a structure exercise where I'm going to put you into groups. You're going to write a speech together as a group and then deliver it together as a group. I hope, on Zoom. So there's that. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments so other people can read them as well and maybe get their questions answered as well. Thanks.